Whew, man, what an absolutely necessary palate cleanser. After nearly a decade of disappointing media emanating from the Seven Kingdoms, we finally got some not just good, but great Game of Thrones content. And from an unlikely place, too, because I highly doubt when this show got announced that many people thought it would be the best thing this franchise has produced since season 4 of the original show. But hey, here we are. A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms is an American fantasy drama series created by Ira Parker and infamous procrastinator George R.R. Martin. A prequel to Game of Thrones, it is the third television series in Martin's franchise and an adaptation of the tales of Dunk and Egg, the novels written, of course, by Martin himself. It follows Sir Duncan the Tall, or Dunk for short, navigating the complex and violent world of Westeros as an aspiring knight when he is joined by a small, bald companion in the form of Egg, his would-be squire. Dunk and Egg head off to a local jousting tournament where, through a series of unfortunate events, it is revealed that Egg is actually a crown prince of House Targaryen. Spoilers. And an heir to the legendary Iron Throne. Dunk is then thrust into a world of murderous nobles and vicious royals as he finds himself locked into an unexpected, dire situation. In just 6 comparatively short episodes, A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms establishes itself as arguably the best content the Game of Thrones franchise has produced since the heights of the original series. This is a tightly written, carefully crafted, narrative-focused, character-driven show that hits all the right notes if you are a fan at all of the shenanigans that go on inside of the fictional Seven Kingdoms. Every episode is a perfect mixture of genuinely fun and funny moments, combined with seriously impactful emotional beats. There isn't a lot of action per se in this series, outside of the penultimate episode, but there is enough substance around these characters to keep you fully engaged until things really pick up. Dunk himself may have cemented his place in my mind as one of my all-time favorite Game of Thrones characters. He might be the most genuine and kind person to ever exist in George's hyper-violent medieval fantasy world. Like if you dropped Captain America off in King's Landing. Always trying to do the right thing and do right by others, there is a sincerity to Dunk that is often lacking not only in Game of Thrones but media in general. It's not often you can have a main character be such an objective good guy without it feeling kinda corny. But showrunner Ira Parker makes Dunk feel like a real person that could exist today, which is a hell of a feat in a series like this. Dunk is not a noble-born lord or prince like so many of the Game of Thrones characters before him. He's just a dude trying to make his way through the world one day at a time by doing the right things. And that is a unique perspective we haven't seen in this franchise before. Former rugby player Pete Claffley deserves a ton of credit for bringing Dunk from the page to the screen with such incredible results. Claffley's performance is one of the main factors of making this show successful, as the large majority of its runtime is spent alongside this mountain of a man. He plays Dunk as the world's most lovable oaf that you can't help but find yourself constantly rooting for. Alongside Claffley is his pint-sized but equally talented co-star Dexter Soul Ansel, who plays the adorable but quite sassy Aegon Egg Targaryen. Ansel is the perfect yin to Claffley's yang, as the two bantering off each other is one of the most fun parts of the entire series, but Ansel also flexes quite a range for such a young actor. He really shines in the moments where Egg is shouldering the emotional weight of being such a genuine and kind soul in a very, very harsh environment, providing the show with some more of its gripping and powerful moments. Egg's complex life as a royal prince who just wants to be normal, contrasted with Dunk's painfully common existence, makes him a fascinating character to watch as he tries to evolve into the man he so desperately desires to be. To be honest, every actor on the show absolutely nails it, with even minor side characters proving to be memorable and fun additions, and everyone in a prominent role playing it to absolute perfection. The visuals are also top-notch, as both the costume design and special effects really keep you totally immersed in the somehow both beautiful and downright ugly world of the Seven Kingdoms, doing a great job of setting the tone for each particular scene. The costume design in particular is spectacular, giving each character a unique visual identity, as well as staying as close to the source material as possible, with minor variations that in many cases might be a bit of an improvement. The writing, however, may be the highlight of the whole thing, as clever quips pepper in between the more dramatic and serious moments while somehow never undercutting the emotional heft of the show. The shortened run times may have actually been beneficial, no matter how much the internet continues to complain about them, as it likely forced the writers to keep things narratively focused and driven by these interesting characters that they were creating, leaving no room for any extra slack that has affected so many projects before. The best compliment I can give this show is that whether or not you are a Game of Thrones fan, I can assure that you will find something to enjoy about this series. Whether it is the developing relationship between a jolly giant and his very bald boy, the realistic portrayal of what a medieval jousting tournament must have felt like all those years ago, or the genuinely funny jokes that help ease some of the very real tension. This show has something for everyone, and I cannot suggest enough that you take the time out of your schedule to go check it out. This show was not one that was highly anticipated, it wasn't overly hyped or overly promoted, but I'll be shocked if it doesn't end up being one of HBO's next big hits when it's all said and done. Which is why I am happy to say A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms gets a rare and earnest 5 out of 5 stars. If you enjoyed this review and want to see more like it, be sure to like and subscribe to the Planet Comedy YouTube channel, where more episodes of Real Reviews are available right now, with more coming in the very near future. Have a wonderful rest of your day, night, and week. Be kind to each other, believe in yourself, and I'll see you soon.